everyone. Welcome to the first episode of our webinar series Traditional to Digital, a journey through signatures. I'm Malisha, your host for this episode, joined by my friendly colleague Tivanka. Hi Tivanka, welcome to the episode today.
How are you today?
I'm all good. So, do you know what we are going to talk about today?
I do have a sense, judging by the number of calls and the messages and emails that you sent me, I do have an idea.
What was the calls and the emails was giving you away?
I know that we are going to record something that is going to be useful for all the viewers.
Yes. So Tivanka is right. So in today's episode, we will be diving deeper into the evolution of signatures from traditional to digital and how it's been done in the recent times. But you know Tivanka, before we get into the superhero part of our webinar series today, let me quickly reminisce on the good old days of how we did the signing, aka the traditional way, right? With the pen and the paper. Can you just imagine how the good old days were?
You are referring to the traditional use of pen and paper, right?
Yes.
Is it like long gone now?
Yes, it's long gone and I'm pretty sure it's not the good old days. I was just putting a net on you to catch you if you're there.
Yes.
Yes.
I really can't think of a time or a day that signing a document on a traditional piece of paper for some time. So let's talk how we are going to do this.
Yes. So just like Tivanka, many people would be thinking, so how can we do the signatures like Tivanka without the use of pen and paper, of course, right? But before we dive into that subject, Tivanka, let me paint a picture for you.
Okay.
Imagine it's a Monday morning, right?
Just
of
like
course,
today.
Just like today,
Today's
right?
a Monday.
We are on a Monday morning.
Yes.
So, you're the big boss of a company, right? You're arriving at your workstation at 8 o'clock in the morning and you're welcomed by nothing but a huge stack of papers. Of course, it's the agreements, documents, and some other sensitive things that's running, right? Every single document of this, imagine there's like around 30 to 40. Every one of them needs your signature.
You're saying 8 a.m. in the morning, right?
Yes.
Monday.
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, but wait, that's not it. Next, you are opening your email to find out, again, there are huge amounts of documents emailed to you asking for the signature of yours. But this time, you have to download those documents, print them, place your signature, scan, and then put it back to the relevant person. Wait, still the horror is not over. You have a next set of documents in the same email where it needs just your approval. So what you have to do now is write email for every single one of these documents saying that you approve of them or you're going to decline them. Let me know how you think about this scenario.
Okay, Manisha, just give me a little time to absorb the entire story you just,
I know.
poured on me.
But wait, to top it off, you also get ink smudges because of that.
Okay, right. So it's a Monday morning. I'm the boss. I have a lot of documents to sign on physical and another lot is remaining on my email.
Emails, yes.
One thing for a fact, I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to be happy in the morning.
So you will be that angry CEO.
Of course, I'm going to be. Even though I have got people to work for me just to get the documents prepared and everything, I will not like the entire hassle and the difficulty to, go through that entire process. Do we have any other option?
Yes, of course, we do have an option which we will be definitely getting into later in the episode. But before that, Tivanka, do you think that the picture that I just painted is the only drawback of traditional signing?
I doubt it because talking about traditional signing and different challenges that it inherently get you, we can talk the entire day.
I know.
There could be issues related to security, convenience, getting things around. I think the list will only expand.
Yes, as you said, security is one of the biggest drawbacks when it comes to traditional signing in the way it's done. I'm pretty sure, Tivanka, you know if you have watched the movie Catch Me If You Can. Do you want to explain it to our audience a little bit?
So this was a favorite back in the day. Leonardo DiCaprio is there. And yes, it is all about someone who's actually forging checks back in the day.
Using traditional signing, right?
Yes, and then placing signatures of other people on these checks.
Whoa.
That's just to get paid. Like for an instance, if you are a person, you are getting paid from some particular organization. I can forge a check. I will just forge a signature, and I'll get. Back in the day, we didn't have all these technology of internet transfer, e-banking, and all of that, right?
Yes.
It's check-based payments. So I will forge a check. I will forge your signature. Then I will go to the bank, and I will get the money on behalf of you, and nobody will ever know what happened.
Yes.
Right?
And I'm pretty sure that's still existing. I mean, as long
Yes.
as something which causes fraud is still alive, then the fraud is still alive too.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So I think there is one thing that it can put a full stop to this entire scenario.
Okay.
But again, before that, still there are many drawbacks when it comes to traditional signing.
Okay.
Especially, think about the money and time that is required when you're physically traveling from one place to another just to place a signature. Divanka, we need your comment on that too.
Right. So, if the person that you need the signature to be put on is living at a distant place,
Yes.
of course you don't have any other way just to get the person either to you, or you have to be there physically, or
Exactly.
else you can courier the document, which will, of course, add a few more things onto the equation. You have to pay for it,
Exactly.
right?
Of course,
And
yeah.
it will take a lot of time.
Of
You
course.
will never know by which time, on which date the document will be sent to that particular person. That is an uncertainty, right?
Of course.
And if something happens to the document while it is in transit, that's the end of the story.
Yeah, I mean, of course, documents tend to get misplaced when it's been couriered,
Yes.
right? So, which is also when it comes to stacks of paper lying around in the desk. Imagine getting back to the same scenario we just started with. When you have stacks and stacks of paper lying on your desk, of course, there's a high chance, high percentage that at least one of those documents will go missing.
Of course.
Right? And then you will never find it, and you will leave, or actually there are some scenarios where you will find that document when it's too late also.
Correct.
Right?
If you can't find the document at the right
At the
time,
right
when the
time.
need is there,
Yeah,
there is no point of having that.
exactly.
Yes.
So as we go on discussing, there is one more biggest, massive problem caused due to this traditional signing, because it's of course including paper.
Okay.
And I think you would have guessed it by now. The environmental impact, right?
Yeah.
So did you also know, Tivanka, regarding these staggering statistics that around 68 millions of trees are being cut annually just to produce paper, and most of these papers, what do you think are being produced as? Of course, into legal documents, business contracts,
Okay.
and so many other sensitive
Basic
documents.
day-to-day office-related documents.
Exactly.
Are you cutting that number of trees annually just to make that amount of paper?
Yes, you can go and check it online. 68
That's
millions
bad.
of trees, right? Imagine the waste. So now I think everyone get the point that we shouldn't be wasting so much of trees, and of course even the paper that's been produced, end of the day it gets wasted, right? If
Yes.
you're getting into an office space, there are so many papers that's been wasted. And leave the paper apart, talking about traditional signing, if you're still signing through pen and paper, that means we're still contributing to that environmental
Pollution.
pollution,
Yes.
right? Especially the increasing the carbon footprint,
Correct.
which we should be actually
Yes,
lowering
now
at this
everyone
point.
is talking about reducing their carbon footprint and
Exactly.
all. So don't sign on physical documents, right?
Yes, don't sign on physical document, just as Tivanka said. So Tivanka, I think we're right at the point now to talk about the main subject of the episode today, which is digital signatures. So before I give my opinion on digital signatures, Tivanka, you go ahead and let us know, how has digital signatures changed your life as an employee?
Right. Interesting fact, of course. When it comes to digital or electronic signatures, as I was saying at the beginning, I cannot remember a day using a pen and a paper to sign a document. I always use this particular platform, which we will tell what in a later time.
Yes, of course.
To use to get documents signed, to get agreements signed, and it only takes me seconds, minutes maybe, and it has helped my clients, my colleagues, my friends at work to get their documents signed very easily.
Yes.
And I will not be an angry CEO on a Monday.
Of course. I mean, being an angry CEO is just a scenario, but also it's not only about the CEO. Even people who are working in the managerial levels are still frustrated because of signatures. Especially, imagine being an HR in a company or being a salesperson in a company. Of course, you will have tons and tons of documents when you are onboarding employees or signing off a deal. So many scenarios where this traditional signing will come into place again and again. So to reduce these scenarios, the evolution of traditional signing to digital signing has helped this era a lot. So when it comes to digital signing, it's not just about the convenience again. It's a lot about the security too. So Tivankar, go ahead and let us know about the security factor of digital signing also.
Yes, imagine that you are sending a document to someone in a traditional envelope and you are sending it through a courier.
Yeah.
There is always the potential or the risk of someone opening it. Imagine the document being a highly confidential one. You will never know who has seen it, and they can, of course, seal back the document just as it was new. But with electronic or digital signatures, you can make sure that you are sending your document to the intended recipient only, not to anyone else. And of course, there are additional measurements that you can use: two-factor authentication, one-time password, where you can lock the document and only the people who are supposed to be having access can only have access to the document. So that's a huge advancement, evolution in terms of ensuring security on signatures on documents.
So Tivankar, it's interesting that you spoke about the security factor, and I think the two most elements that is fulfilled when it comes to digital signature platform is the authenticity and the integrity. As you said, making sure that the person who we are sending the document is the actual person who is signing the document. And of course, there are measures taken in the digital signature platforms when we take that into consideration, especially through OTP signing, right?
Yes.
Imagine I'm sending you a document. So you will get an OTP to your number to make sure that you put that OTP in the right place with the correct coding so that you can open the document and sign it, which is like another way of encrypting the document and making sure that it's reaching the right person and the right person is actually signing it. So there you go, authenticity is there. And again, when it comes to integrity, interestingly, you also spoke about the courier services. So imagine I'm sending a document to you through courier, and there's high chance that it can get into the hands of the wrong person and the document can be tampered. Who knows, right? So in that case, again, the digital signature platforms creates that integrity within the platform itself through digital certificates and audit trails to make sure that the document has not been tampered along the process of signing, so that again the document is safe and secure. So Tivankar, do you have anything more to add on to this digital signature journey?
You're talking about some of the important things you just mentioned: security, authenticity, integrity. I believe those are the very important things, just as you said, that we need if we are to get documents signed in terms of a business perspective. So it is very important that we, get into the available technology out there for us to facilitate ourselves with that particular capability. Are we going to tell all of that today?
Well, as you asked now, it's going to be a series of episodes. So we will be talking in bits and pieces on all the ways that digital signatures can revolutionize the way we sign documents. So again, talking about how digital signature is changing the game of document signing, as you said, yes, there is security and integrity, but also the environmental impact. As I was saying, when it comes to traditional signing, we are of course wasting a lot of paper and of course the time and the money, right? But again, when we switch it to digital signing platforms, you don't need the physical person.
You can go paperless.
You can go paperless. You can sit anywhere right here on the couch from anywhere on the globe and sign that document right away, right? And finish off that deal as soon as possible. You don't have to wait on days on a delayed document through maybe a courier service, or even be scared of getting forged, or you don't have to be even thinking about the time and expenses that you will be giving up just to sign a few papers. So again, digital signing is changing the game and we are all for it, right? So Tivankar, thank you so much for joining this episode with us, and of course we will be talking a lot about digital signatures in the future episodes. So here we have come to an end in this episode, but definitely there's going to be more and more fascinating stories when it comes to digital signing. So once again, Tivankar, thank you so much for joining us in this episode. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Malisha. And I heard that there are more people who are going to come into the show.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, I think you broke a surprise there.
Yes.
So there are a lot of people joining us from different departments to give you the insights of how can digital signatures can change the game of document signing. So thank you so much everyone for joining us on this specific episode from traditional signing to digital signing, and let's meet us in the next episode where we'll be speaking about the legality and the compliance of digital signatures. Until then, stay tuned. Bye.